Let's be brutally honest for a moment. How many times this week have you felt the sting of being ignored? You gave a clear, reasonable instruction at work, only to watch it get lost in a fog of excuses and delayed emails. You asked for basic respect in a relationship, and your words were dismissed as you being too sensitive or creating drama. You stand there, watching people with half your intelligence and a quarter of your work ethic effortlessly command rooms, secure promotions, and get exactly what they want, while you're left holding the bag of your own good intentions. Why? Is it charisma? Luck? A secret handshake you weren't taught? No. The answer is far more disturbing, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. The world does not run on fairness, it runs on leverage. You have been trying to navigate a psychological battlefield armed with the rules of polite conversation, while the people who win, the ones who get the obedience, the respect, the results, they understand the dark, subterranean currents of human nature. They aren't necessarily smarter or better than you, they are simply more strategic. They know which hidden buttons to press. This is not a lesson in manipulation for malicious ends. Let me be perfectly clear. This is a masterclass in influence for tangible, real-world results. It is about protecting your time, your energy, your vision, and your sanity from the draining chaos of other people's incompetence, indifference, and passive resistance. This is about moving from being a victim of circumstance to being the architect of your outcomes. Today, you will learn the 8 dark psychological tricks that bypass conscious resistance and make people not just listen, but obey. This is the operating system for influence that nobody talks about. Now, I want you to make your first act of defiance against your old, powerless self. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My will is a silent command. Number 1. The architecture of presumptive language. Your words are not just communication, they are programming. Most people speak in the language of possibility, which is the language of optional compliance. Could you? Would you mind? I was thinking maybe? These phrases are psychological exit ramps. They give the listener an easy out, a way to say no without direct confrontation. The first dark trick is to dismantle this architecture and rebuild it with presumptive language. This language does not ask for a future action. It describes a future reality where the action has already been completed. You are not giving an option, you are narrating a fact. The amateur says, hey, if you get a chance, could you maybe look at these numbers? The strategist declares, the analysis on these numbers will be completed by end of day Thursday. Do you feel the difference? The first is a weak signal, easily ignored. The second is a clear, confident broadcast that bypasses the critical, resistant part of the brain and speaks directly to the subconscious, which is wired to accept clear commands from a confident source. You are not requesting, you are forecasting. Your certainty becomes their instruction manual. This is how you stop being a petitioner in your own life and start being a director. Number 2, engineering strategic inconvenience. Human behavior is governed by one unshakable law, the path of least resistance. People will consistently choose the option that requires the least amount of immediate effort, even if it leads to long-term pain. Your goal is not to fight this law, but to weaponize it. Make disobedience the harder path. This isn't about overt punishment or emotional outbursts. That is weak, predictable, and drains your power. This is cold, systematic design. Scenario: your team consistently delivers reports late, ignoring your deadlines. Weak response: sending another angry email threatening consequences that never come. Strategic inconvenience: you implement a new, unemotional system. Any report submitted after the deadline will automatically trigger a mandatory 30-minute process review meeting with me at 8 a.m. the following Monday. The sole purpose of this meeting will be to document, minute by minute, why the delay occurred. Suddenly, the effort of attending a tedious early Monday meeting far outweighs the effort of just finishing the report on time. You have made their disobedience their direct, logical inconvenience to you. You are no longer the nagging boss, you are the enforcer of a system they chose to trigger. In personal relationships, this means leaving after waiting 10 minutes, not answering calls that violate your boundaries. You make their bad behavior their own problem, not your drama. Number 3, the illusion of autonomy. The human brain has a fundamental non-negotiable need for autonomy. When you issue a direct command, you trigger this need, and the psyche rebels. It's a primal response. The dark trick is to satisfy this need for choice while ruthlessly controlling the boundaries within which that choice is made. You are giving them the steering wheel, but you own the road, the destination, and the GPS. This is the art of the forced choice question. You are not asking if they will do something, you are presenting how they will do it. A CEO doesn't say, "Should we expand into the European market?" That invites debate. A CEO says, "Our growth requires European expansion. The question is whether we launch in Germany or France first. I need your analysis on which beachhead is more advantageous." A parent doesn't plead, "Please just eat your vegetables." A parent states, "Dinner isn't over until you've had your vegetables. Do you want the broccoli or the carrots?" You are offering a choice within the cage of your command. They feel the warmth of autonomy while you remain in the cold, calculated seat of control. It is a psychological magic trick that transforms defiance into a simple administrative decision. Number 4, weaponizing social proof. Human beings are tribal creatures. Our deepest fears are not of predators, but of ostracism. Being cast out from the tribe meant death. You can tap into this ancient, powerful fear to command obedience without ever addressing an individual directly. Instead of commanding one person, you define and praise the behavior of the group. You make the individual's disobedience a deviation from the tribe's identity. Weak manager. Sarah, you need to be more of a team player. Strategic leader, in a full team meeting, you say, "What makes this department exceptional is our culture of radical collaboration. I see it every day, how everyone here leans in, helps without being asked, and puts the team's mission above their own ego. That's our standard. That's who we are." Sarah is now in an impossible position. To continue her selfish behavior is to publicly reject the identity of the tribe. The invisible pressure of the group, the desire to belong, will crush her resistance far more effectively than your private scolding ever could. You have made obedience a social requirement, not just a personal one. Number 5, the consistency trap. People are psychologically enslaved by their own past words and actions. To act in a way that is inconsistent with a previous commitment creates cognitive dissonance, a mental pain that the brain will scramble to avoid. Your trick is to be the architect of that commitment. You lay a trap by getting a small, initial, public yes to a principle, and then you use that as a lever to force a larger, specific action. The setup, you're in a project meeting. You say, "Can we all agree that the most important thing here is hitting our launch date no matter what?" Everyone nods, everyone says yes. It's an easy commitment to make. The trigger, 2 weeks later, you need Mark from engineering to work over the weekend. You don't beg. You say, "Mark, as we all agreed, the launch date is paramount. To honor that commitment we made, I need you to deploy the update this weekend." To refuse you now, Mark would have to publicly contradict his own stated values. He would have to admit that, actually, the launch date isn't that important, which makes him look like a hypocrite and a liar. The psychological cost of saying no is now higher than the physical cost of working the weekend. You have made his own mind your greatest ally. Number 6, the power of calculated scarcity. Your time, your attention, your approval, your expertise, these are your currencies. When you give them away freely like a central bank printing endless money, they become worthless. People feel no urgency to acquire what is always available. But when you make these resources scarce, their perceived value skyrockets, and people will obey your smallest wish to get a piece of them. Stop being constantly available. Let the phone ring. Delay your email responses by hours, even a day. Be slightly less eager to offer your help. Become known as someone whose time is valuable and protected. When you do this, a powerful shift occurs. People start pre-qualifying their requests. They come to you prepared, respectful, and eager to comply with your preferences because they know access to you is a limited commodity. Your no becomes expected, and your yes becomes a prized reward. Your silence and absence become a more powerful motivating force than your loudest presence. You are not being rude. You are teaching people the market value of your attention.
Number 7. The dominion of silence. After you issue a command or a statement of intent, the first person who speaks loses. This is an unbreakable law of power. When you give an instruction and are met with resistance, hesitation, or a blank stare, your weak emotional self wants to fill the void. It wants to explain, justify, plead, or rephrase. This is where you hemorrhage authority. The dark trick is to master the dominion of silence. You deliver your command. Then you stop. You lean back. You make comfortable, unbreaking eye contact. You let the psychological vacuum of your silence expand in the room. This silence is deafening. It screams, "I have spoken. The next move is yours, and I am waiting to see if you are an ally or a problem." Most people are emotionally and psychologically incapable of weathering this storm. The tension becomes unbearable. They will rush to fill the silence with agreement, with compliance, with anything to end the discomfort you are so calmly imposing. Your quiet will is a force that crumbles their loud resistance every single time. Number 8. The principle of unearned merit. This is the most advanced and counterintuitive trick. The common wisdom is to reward obedience, but that is a transaction. You obey, I pay. The dark strategist goes further. They create a psychological debt that can never be fully repaid. This involves bestowing a reward, praise, or a significant favor before it is earned, or even when it is completely undeserved. For instance, randomly and publicly praise a difficult employee for a specific positive attitude you've decided to see in them. "James, I've been impressed with your meticulous attention to detail lately. It's making a difference." Do an unexpected, significant favor for a friend who has been flaky. Help them move. Connect them with a valuable contact. No strings attached. This act of unearned positive reinforcement triggers a powerful, subconscious urge for reciprocity. The person is now living with a psychological imbalance. They feel indebted to you. This debt is not a logical one. It's a deep, emotional itch that can only be scratched by obeying your future requests, by proving themselves worthy of the merit you prematurely bestowed. You create fierce, irrational loyalty that cannot be bought, only inspired. You are not just their leader, you are their benefactor. Let me be absolutely crystal clear. This power is not for the petty, the weak, or the cruel. It is not for bullying or for selfish short-term gain. This is the framework for cutting through the endless noise of human resistance to build, to lead, and to protect what matters. Use these tricks to build a team that executes with precision. Use them to foster relationships built on clear, respected boundaries. Use them to ensure that your vision is not diluted by the incompetence of others. Use them to command the respect you have always deserved, but were never taught how to claim. The world is not a democracy of opinions where the best idea wins. It is a subtle hierarchy of influence where the most strategically intelligent person in the room, whether they speak the loudest or the quietest, ultimately wins. It is time for you to claim your rightful place in that hierarchy. If you are ready to stop begging and start commanding, to stop persuading and start engineering outcomes, then prove it. Hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel because this is just the beginning. And in the comments, I want you to tell me one thing. Which one of these 8 dark tricks will you deploy first to change your life? The era of asking for permission is over. The age of engineered obedience begins now.